Welcome to the 30th race on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. We're here in Kansas City, Kansas at the Kansas Speedway. Yes, we're back at the Kansas Speedway for the second time this year. Once again, we return to a track that had an amazing finish in the spring race. Yes, Kyle Larson beat Chris Buescher by that much. But being at Kansas is a special weekend. Not only do all three series race this weekend, but all three series now are in their playoffs. Yes, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This is the final of the round of 10 race, the final race of the round of 10. Yes, two drivers will be eliminated after this race on Friday night. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series will still hasn't had a winner to advance in their playoffs yet due to why? Lane Riggs has won both races. Yes, the Milwaukee Mile and Bristol. Lane Riggs looking pretty good. He's on a hot streak, man. Unfortunately, he isn't in the playoffs to do anything with it. But though Friday night, the Kubota Tractor 200 will run 134 laps. That's 200 miles. Christian Eckes won this race last fall, and Corey Heim won earlier in the spring. Eckes first in the standings and Heim in second look to cruise to the round of 8 after this race. Taylor Gray and Grant Enfinger now still are in the playoffs, where Daniel Dye and Ben Rhodes are 7 points and 12 points out of the playoffs. Now the NASCAR Xfinity Series starts their round of 12 playoffs this weekend with the Kansas Lottery 300. That's 200 laps, 300 miles. Here are the 12 drivers in the playoff, with Justin Allgaier as the playoff leader. With Cole Custer not too far behind after his win last week at Bristol. Sheldon Creed, AJ Allmendinger, Sammy Smith, and Parker Klingerman are all under the cut line at Kansas. Now, with Kansas, Dega, and Charlotte Roval in the round of 12, we'll see if these drivers can move up in the standings. Now, John Hunter Nemechek won this race last year, but he is not in this race due to no Cup drivers are allowed to be in the Xfinity playoffs. Now, the NASCAR Cup Series comes into Kansas in the round of 12 after 4 drivers were eliminated in Bristol. Bad Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., Harrison Burton, and Ty Gibbs were eliminated last Saturday night. Sunday, the Cup Series will run the Hollywood Casino 400. That's 267 laps, 400 miles. Tyler Reddick won this race last year in the spring. And in the spring, Kyle Larson won by that very small margin of victory. Now, coming into the round of 12, Kyle Larson is the playoff leader. Here is your top 8 for the playoffs. And here is your last 4 out: Cindric, Suarez, Bowman, and Briscoe. Now, the round of 12 includes Kansas, Talladega, and the Charlotte Roval, which could help some of these drivers in the bottom 4, like Briscoe and Suarez. And remember, Bowman won Chicago, so all these guys are pretty good at the street course or the road courses. Okay, so let's get to the paint schemes this week. Here are all 3 series: the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Cup Series paint schemes. When I come back, I'll give you my favorite schemes of the week, a recap of Bristol, some NASCAR news that I've kind of built up over the last couple weeks on our vlogs, and my picks for the week. So here's the paint schemes, and let's go. those paint schemes. Which one was your favorite? Make sure you comment below. Now, for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, I love that 43 Daniel Dye Napa Night Vision Chevy. That thing is cool looking. I like it. Now the 38 Lane Riggs Infinity Communications Ford. I think he messes up here. My opinion is they should have stayed with the sponsor they had the last two times he's won. I think it messes him up, but I do like the paint scheme. The number 19 Christian Eckes Gates Hydraulics Chevrolet. First time I haven't seen him in a Napa paint scheme in a long time. And the number 1 Brendan Queen Best Repair Company Toyota. Now for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, I love that number 88 Connor Zilich KOA RTC Chevy. That looks really good. I think that's one of the best paint schemes of the week. The number 51 Jeremy Clements Impel Union Chevy. He never disappoints on his paint schemes. This guy is there every week. Every week, he's got good paint schemes. Now, the number 45, Brad Perez Apex Coffee Roasters Chevy. I like that one as well. The number 43, Ryan Ellis Snapchat Chevy. That's weird. And the number 1, Sam Mayer QPS Employment Group Chevy. I love that teal with the white. And the 00 Cole Custer NXT CW Ford. I mean, come on. Are we kidding ourselves? Who's actually going to get to watch NXT on the CW Sport channel? Did anybody watch the race last weekend? Yes, I know some of you guys watched it on your rabbit ears. But some of us didn't get to watch the race. This is dumb. And it's still haven't figured it out for this week. The NASCAR Cup Series. I love that 51 Children's Mercy Hospital for Justin. I mean, oh, wait a minute. It's Corey LaJoy? More on that later. The number 25, William Byron, Valvoline Chevy. Yes, one of my favorites all year. I love this paint scheme. So good. The number 23, Bubba Wallace, Columbia Sportswear Toyota. It looks like a big honeycomb. Looks like a big box of cereal. The number 15, Kaz Grala Remixers Ford. I just love those yellow wheels. They look cool. And that number 11, Denny Hamlin, FedEx Toyota. Yes, all the talk this week. You might as well sit here and stare at it for a little bit longer, as you know. You know why I do it. But more on this later. And then the number 7, Justin Haley, Spire Motorsports. You look good in that 7, Justin Haley. Prove to us it was just the driver. Have a good running this week. All right. So here's my recap on Bristol. All 3 series were in action for the first time in a long time. Thursday at Bristol, under the lights, Connor Zilich was on the pole, continuing his hot streak after the win at Watkins Glen. Raj Caruth took the lead over Corey Heim and won stage 1. Corey Heim takes the lead over Raj Caruth and then getting through him and Christian Eckes as well, and he wins stage 2. Like the Milwaukee Mile, the third stage, Lane Riggs, the rookie, going for Rookie of the Year, takes over and wins his second race in a row, and he wins at Bristol. All right, so Friday night under the lights, the Food City 300. What a great race this was as well. Chandler Smith on the pole for the race, and Justin Allgaier took the early lead. But after Allgaier has some issues on a wreck with his bumper falling off, he begins a long day for Justin Allgaier at Bristol with multiple issues. Now Chandler Smith wins stage 1. Now Jeremy Clements, he stays out after a caution and leads the field back to the green and wins stage 2. Now the third stage, Cole Custer takes the lead and over Chandler Smith in the third stage, and Cole Custer wins and wins the regular season championship as well with a bad day by Justin Allgaier. Cole Custer wins the regular season points championship. Not enough to take the lead in the playoffs with Allgaier there, but Allgaier has a really bad day, and Cole Custer takes advantage of it. So Saturday night, the Bass Pro Shops night race. Alex Bowman, the other Rick Hendrick Chevy, was on the pole. But it didn't last long. Kyle Larson took the lead, and he was the lead for stage one, stage two, and he dominated this race. 465 laps led of 500 laps. Yes, some say it was a snooze fest. Lots of good racing, though, but no one could pass anybody. And mostly everybody was just kind of hanging out, lagging laps, trying to get to the end. But Kyle Larson dominates this race. He wins the race. I think they went on a long, long run to end the race, but some other points in this race, Martin Truex Jr. and Ty Gibbs both had speeding penalties on pit road, which cost them and put them in the back of the pack. And the points were just not there to keep up with Truex. Truex was running really good too, but Truex and Ty Gibbs both do not make the cut. Plus, Bad Brad never got going, and then Harrison Burton had some issues, and he was out early. So, there were your four drivers that got kicked out of the playoffs on Saturday night. Now, here's some NASCAR news for you guys. Nick Sanchez, he is going to the 48 car where Parker Klingerman, yes, he's in the playoffs this year, but he is giving up his ride next year. So Nick Sanchez will be in the 48 in 2025. Bubba Wallace with 2311, he gets an extension. Now Justin Haley and Corey LaJoy swapping rides, the 7 and the 51. LaJoy to the 51, Justin Haley to the 7. Should be interesting. But we're gonna miss seeing Justin Haley in that 51. He did have some good races in that 51. And Harrison Burton, he's gonna try to prove everybody wrong in that 15 AM racing car. He's going to the Xfinity AM Racing, so Xfinity Series. Now, big news that came out this week: FedEx cutting ties with Denny Hamlin in 2025. I guess I'm just gonna have to buy a new shirt and hat. I guess that's what this is. And no, this is not a Denny Hamlin shirt. This is my Ally 400 shirt from Nashville. So there you go. So Denny Hamlin, more on that later, but Denny Hamlin, FedEx sponsorship possibly going away in 2025. FedEx is looking to step back on a lot of stuff. So we'll see who takes over the main sponsor with Denny Hamlin. So, all right. So here are my picks for the weekend. The Truck Series Kubota Tractor 200. Okay, Lane Riggs is not going to win 3 in a row. Let's say that now. And I'm going to just go ahead and I know this is a repetitive thing for me, but I like the guy, and he won here in the spring. Corey Heim. I'm taking Corey Heim for the win. And Dark Horse, Daniel Dye, because I really like that paint scheme he's riding. I'd love to see him in victory lane, and that would be a major upset here in this, because he right now is out of the playoffs. And if he wins, he would move on. So that would be crazy. So that's my dark horse, Daniel Dye. Now, in the Xfinity Series, the Kansas Lottery 200, I'm going Justin Allgaier. Had a horrible race in Bristol. I think he rebounds and has a great race, comes back and wins, and establishes that and moves into the round of 10. So, but my dark horse is going to be Sam Mayer. I'm taking Sam Mayer as my dark horse at Kansas. Now, the Hollywood Casino 400, as Denny Hamlin said last week in a podcast, there was just about 10 or so drivers that were just trying to get to the end. They knew they were going to finish, they knew they were going to advance. But I think that changes this week. I think Christopher Bell wins here. He got the pole last spring. Tyler Reddick ran as well, good there too. But I'm going Christopher Bell, and I'm going to take Tyler Reddick as my dark horse. Christopher Bell for the win, and Tyler Reddick for the dark horse. Toyota, Toyota, Toyota. All right, so there you go. So now you know the paint schemes of everybody. You know when the races are. And now you got to know what we're doing. And this weekend, we're going to be bringing you the truck race tonight on Friday night. And then Saturday, we'll be bringing you the Xfinity race. And on Sunday, we'll be bringing you the Cup race. We'll also be doing Cup practice and qualifying as well on Saturday afternoon. So make sure you guys are there to show up and have a good time. We'll have a great time in the chats. And so you now know everything you need to know about this weekend. Great weekend preview. And make sure you're hitting a like button on this stream as well. And also subscribing to On the Go at CeeLo if you are new to us for all the NASCAR coverage you can get right here on this channel. So thank you guys for watching. We will see you in the streams. And we'll see you tonight at the truck race. Now let's go.